The words that are parallel with education are learning and acquiring knowledge, and both start at birth. When a child is an infant, they are constantly learning new ways to adapt themselves to their surroundings. From their first smile, to being able to sit up for the first time, to being able to crawl, walk, and talk, learning is a necessary part of everyday life. The first education that I received that I can remember began at home and started with potty training when I was 2.5 years old. I remember distinctly the feeling of having to go to the bathroom, and I would rush with everything I had to my pink Rugrats baby potty, a huge smile on my face, ready to conquer the world. As I reached the potty, I often realized that I had been too late. From then on, I learned that learning was something that would take time, something that couldn't happen in a day's work. The more I began to learn about my body, the better I became, until one day I was officially potty trained. I was on top of the world at that point. Here came the next task. While I was on the potty, I would constantly need to be entertained. But how? Here's where my parents taught me the ABCs. Although I had no idea what it meant at 2.5 years old, I was still acquiring the necessary skills of memorization and retelling. I look back on home videos of me singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, N, O, O, P. Okay, maybe I didn't exactly have it down, but I was still learning, and at 2.5 years old, this was quite the accomplishment for me. The next thing that I can remember growing up was the teaching by my parents of kindness and nurturing. On Christmas Eve morning in 1990, I opened up a present only to find a brand new life-size baby doll with all the essential things to take care of it. I had real-life diapers, a baby bath, and baby clothes. At 3 years old, I was already learning life skills on how to nurture and take care of others. I would carry this doll around with me everywhere I went, rock it to sleep, feed it, and change it. My mom taught me all of these things, and that is something I will never forget. She would stay up with me until my baby fell asleep and help me put it in the crib that she had bought for it. She would also often teach me lullabies to sing my baby to sleep. My parents told me at the age of 3 they could already tell that I would one day want to work with children, and they were right. Up until my preschool years, my parents taught me everything they could about the world and the things inside of it. By the time preschool came, I was confident and ready to explore the world. Looking back on my years of education from an adult perspective, I have come to the conclusion that the most influential education I received was in my elementary school years. From the beginning of kindergarten, I learned my shapes, colors, numbers, and so much more. I learned about sharing, making friends, and working with others. As I skipped through my elementary years, I learned everything I needed to know. I was taught essential life skills, including brushing my teeth, taking a bath, and combing my hair. I was taught addition, multiplication, and division. Here is where I built a foundation of knowledge to continue my education. Middle school is where I started to learn about individuality. At this time, I was finally able to create myself and break out of the shell from the elementary years. Middle school was where I started playing sports and learning about the importance of dedication and teamwork. All of my coaches throughout the middle school years were all truly an inspiration, as they all pushed me to succeed and give my all. Here I learned the importance of discipline and also how hard work pays off. The skill of working hard that I established in middle school has stuck with me into the present, where I'm still constantly reminding myself of discipline, dedication, and teamwork. By the end of 8th grade, I felt that I had really established myself as a person. Middle school allowed me to develop my own personality, hold my own opinions, and voice these opinions in a way that would be heard. In high school, I was able to further develop the skills that I had brought with me throughout my education. Teachers that allowed me to voice my opinion in middle school are the ones that prepare me well for the debate team that I joined in high school. Through this team, I learned great communication as well as public speaking skills. I often had to debate in front of groups of over 100 people, and these debates gave me the self-assurance that I now have to comfortably speak in front of people. It was in high school that I also learned the importance of responsibility. When I was 16 is when I held my first job at a sandwich shop. The education I learned here was endless. I learned the importance of commitment and customer service, although to this day I still argue that the customer is not always right. I learned what it was like to finally be in the real world, to have to work for my money and set aside savings for the things that I really needed. As silly as it sounds, it was at this sandwich shop where I learned the people skills and work ethic that I now have today. Most of the teachers that I had in high school were excellent, but there were very few, for the first time in my education, who really turned me off from learning. These teachers were simply careless, lazy, and unwilling to put forth the effort that it took to help students succeed. They almost always criticized and rarely ever awarded, and it was their way or the highway. It was also in high school where I was turned away from sports completely. I'd been playing softball for 12 years before high school, and when I arrived I was known to be one of the better players. However, the coach in high school was unlike any of my previous coaches in middle school. The reason for this is because this coach held favoritism at the top of his list. He had his favorites who he had known for a long time and played only these people. He completely took the fun away from the sport as I was benched all but 3 games in the season. He never had an explanation and completely lowered my self-esteem. However, not everything learned in life is positive. My parents, my teachers, and my coaches throughout my life opened my eyes to the real world and prepared me for what was to come in college. Going to college was my biggest test on how I would use all the knowledge that I had acquired during my grade school years. Although I may not have made all the right decisions, I took with me everything that I had learned. I took with me the kindness, love, and life skills that my parents taught me when I was very young. I took self-confidence and individuality that I learned in middle school, as well as my dedication, perseverance, work ethic, and teamwork. I took with me the willingness to voice my opinion and have my voice be heard, and the notion that I can make a difference. I even took with me the negative things, such as the experiences that I had with past teachers and coaches, as a way to open up my eyes and prepare me for the real world, which in reality is never really fair. I took all these experiences and memories with me as I ventured away from my parents and off into the real world, and all these experiences are what got me to where I am today. I am now in my senior year at Western, and am soon to be a Western Michigan University graduate. However, there was one thing that stuck with the most with me. I'll admit it, I still do sing the ABCs when I use the potty, but this time, I finally have it right.
She